Hello and welcome to my channel. It's a Tailored Life. My name is Taylor and today's video is definitely going to be a get it all done type of video. We are not only going to be getting tons of cleaning motivation, but we're also going to be cooking, and I'm taking down my summer decor, getting ready for fall. Anytime I get ready to decorate for a new holiday, I like to just take some time and leave the house blank for a second. This helps me come up with ideas on how I want to decorate and just appreciate an empty space for a little while. So I'm going to be taking down all of my summer decor, putting those away, getting those sent off to storage. So first we are going to start in the kitchen. It's Hot Mess Express in here today. So we need to get this all cleaned up. But before I start cleaning the kitchen, I had already taken Jackson's sheets off of his bed, and I needed to toss those in the wash first. I like to try and wash sheets early in the morning so that I don't accidentally forget them and don't put them in the dryer and it's time to go to bed and we don't have any sheets available. I do keep extra sheets on hand, but Jackson has been particular about which sheets he wants on his bed right now. So I've just been trying to wash, dry, and get these back on his bed like early in the day so that when he comes home from school, he doesn't even notice that they were off. And if you are new to my channel, I would like to take a quick second to introduce myself. My name is Taylor. I am a wife and a stay-at-home mom. I have two boys. My older son Jackson is 7 and I have a 2-year-old named Lincoln. I love making cleaning motivation videos, and this is my first get it all done video in a while. So this is going to be a little bit different from what I normally post, but I definitely enjoyed making this. So if you like it, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would love to have you, and also please say hi in the comments. I love chatting and just getting to know everyone. If you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it, and please still say hello in the comments. Like I said, I just love chatting with everyone.
Forever, forever, forever. I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? Forever, forever, forever. I watch you as you drive.
Every night I'm going on the grid, texting back, I want you, hit you up, I'm on the other side, I miss you, miss you. Take you off, I came here way too strong, cannot keep it low key. Got me drugged, your pheromones hit the roof, auto, your taste. It's really a bad reception out there, where you heading? Why ain't gravity pulling you in closer to me? I've lost you, but I need you, and you're off my radar now. I've lost you, telling you that I need you, but you're off my radar now. Found myself in between the lines, underneath your bed sheets. It started fun, but now I'm into deep into this flow. A zero-sum game that I will lose. There's no zipping past it. Every time you walk away from me, I want you. How could I want you more? Or when did I lose my perspective? Oh God, have I lost it? But my cravings for you so shameless, can't get enough. I've lost.
Now that we're all done with the dishes, I'm going to move on to other areas of the kitchen. And one of the things that I wanted to do when I was taking down my summer decor was take down some of our photos on the side of the refrigerator. I've had these up. They used to be on the front of the refrigerator, but I moved them to the side because I felt like it looked really cluttered. And see, I found old sonogram photos of Lincoln and my belly, but I wanted to go ahead and take these down because they were so close to the stove that I was noticing that like sometimes they would have food on them, and I took them off the front because I felt like it just looked really cluttered and crowded on the front of the refrigerator. I do like the look of pictures on the fridge, but all of the extra things that I had hanging, I just felt like it looked like too much on the front. So what I did was I decided to keep the magnets that I have photographs turned into magnets. I decided to keep those, but everything else that I kind of just had hanging, I went ahead and put those away. I just was worried that they would get damaged, and after doing that, I decided to go ahead and start putting away all of my summer decor that I had put out in the kitchen. And right now I'm just putting it in a bin, but I will go back and like organize that a little bit more neatly later once I take down some of my other summer decor. I just wanted to go ahead and get those out of the way because I knew I wanted to completely like wipe down all of the counters.
Right now I'm standing in a corner. I see you from across the room. It's kinda crowded here, but I know you see me too. Everybody's singing, oh, everybody's singing, oh. I don't know what it is about you. It must be in the way you move. Just say you want me to. We got nothing to lose. You're looking so.
So I didn't realize this until after. I'm actually spraying down the counters with the Method degreaser spray. I purchased this to clean the inside of my oven. I don't know why I thought it was the Method granite counter spray. So I wiped the counters down and I actually liked it. That's what made me notice that it was a degreaser when I did notice, because I was wiping down the other side of the counters and I was like, wow, this is getting the counters really clean. Why don't I remember it being this great before? And I looked at it and I realized it was actually the degreaser spray. So if you ever need something to get your counters like really clean, definitely give the Method degreaser a try. I used it on the inside of my oven, but once I looked at it and read it, it looks like you can use it just about anywhere that you need to kind of get anything that's stuck on off. And I clean my counters pretty often because I do cook in the kitchen a lot and I do use my counter space a lot when preparing food. So I actually really like that. It made it feel not, because sometimes I can use certain multi-surface spray cleaners on my counter and I don't feel like the counter feels clean, if that makes sense. Like I feel like I can still feel like kind of like a filmy, kind of grimy feel, and this definitely didn't leave that feeling behind at all. Now I'm just going to go ahead and quickly clean out the refrigerator. I like to do this at least like once or twice a week. This is where I take any old food that's in the refrigerator that's either expired, it hasn't been eaten, leftovers that we didn't get to. I just double check dates on everything to make sure I don't have anything old sitting in there. And I also like to wipe it down. I'm a person who does not like to clean out the refrigerator. It's my least favorite task. And when I say clean it out, I mean like pulling all the pieces out. I've said this on my channel like so many times because it literally is my least favorite task to do. So what I do to avoid having to like really deep clean the fridge so much is just like once or twice a week, go in here, check the dates on everything, get rid of any expired food, anything that we aren't eating, and just wipe it down with a wipe. And maybe like once a month I'll pull everything out and wipe everything down, but just on a daily, weekly, good little wipe down with a Lysol wipe is fine. I also like to do this when I know I have groceries coming. So before I started cleaning, I did do a Walmart grocery order, and I knew that by the time I finished cleaning up in the kitchen, my grocery order would be getting delivered. So I wanted to make sure that the refrigerator was all cleaned out and I had tons of space to just neatly put everything away. I know my refrigerator is not very aesthetically pleasing, and that's okay with me because it's just functional for me. It works better like that. And it's really good for me to easily be able to see everything that I have, when things expire and stuff like that. So now that the kitchen is all clean, I'm going to go ahead and bring in my grocery order. It had just gotten delivered just as I had finished cleaning up in the kitchen. So I'm going to go ahead and pull those items out and put them away. Normally when I get a grocery order, especially from Walmart, one of the things that I like to do is pull out all of my groceries and put them on the counter. This is kind of just how I do inventory, just to check and make sure that everything that was on my grocery order did get delivered, that I have everything that I requested, nothing was like substituted that I didn't notice, because usually if they substitute items, they will notify you through the app, but I still just like to go ahead and double check before I put anything away. And our grocery orders usually are not very big. I've said this on my channel before. I don't like to order groceries for the entire week because I feel like we can waste food when we do that. Our plans change. My son Jackson is in a lot of activities, so I may plan on cooking something one day, but if he stays late at practice or something, we may decide to eat out. And I just hate having the food sitting in the fridge and it goes bad, it goes to waste. So I only order for a few days at a time. So on this particular day, I'm going to be making stuffed salmon. And whenever I make stuffed salmon, I will leave certain ingredients out. So I'm leaving my frozen spinach and my cream cheese and my salmon out on the counter because I want those to be like a room temperature. So as I'm cleaning the rest of the house, you can see I'm moving into the dining room and the family room area. While I'm cleaning the other areas of the house, I'm going to leave those sitting out on the counter just to go ahead and thaw out, so it'll be easier for me to use those ingredients a little bit later. So if you want to see me make that recipe, definitely stay watching until the very end. It looks so good. It turned out like really good. It's one of my favorite things to make. Our boys don't eat it, but me and my husband do. We have really picky eaters though, so your kids may enjoy it, but my kids are extremely picky. But definitely stay tuned to the end so you can see that. So, but for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and straighten up in our family dining room and family room area. We spend a lot of time here, and usually when I'm cleaning up, I will kind of let Lincoln have free play, and lately he's figured out how to get toys out of the playpen area. That is where we keep all of the toys at, and we do have some toys in the bedroom for the boys, but most of the toys go in the playpen area. But Lincoln has figured out how to get in and out by himself, and he's also figured out how to get the toys that he wants out and to also get out. So that's why there's so many toys like scattered around. It's because he was kind of playing by himself while I was cleaning the kitchen and putting the groceries away. And on this day, I will say that I am kind of going in between like playing with him and cleaning up. Usually when I have like a full day of cleaning like this, just getting a lot of things done, I will kind of go in between entertaining him and then going back to cleaning, doing something like a cleaning task or cooking or something like that, just to kind of keep him entertained and not so bored while I'm doing all of the things that I need to do. And I did go ahead and start putting away my summer decor in this area. And I was actually sad to see it go. Like my floral arrangement that I made for our TV stand, I really love that. And when I was putting it away, I kind of was second guessing myself, like, am I making the right choice? Should I be putting this away, or should I leave this out as like some type of permanent decor? So I don't know. I put it up with the summer decorations, but I don't know. I may pull it back out. I don't know.
Where did it end? Hanging on those strings, unable to
When I started packing everything away into my storage bins, I wanted to go ahead and pull out all of the flower pieces that I had added to the arrangements that I had purchased. And I got so many compliments on these arrangements. The base of both arrangements I got from Home Goods, and then the other pieces that I added to them, I got those from Hobby Lobby, and I just added those. I could have packed them away like all together as they were, but I wanted to separate them, one because I wanted to use the other flowers as like cushion and support for all of the other things that I was packing in the storage bin, so that things don't like move around and get banged up. But I also wanted to separate them so that next year when I pull them out, or if I decide to pull them out sooner, I'll kind of have like a fresh vision on if I want to change things up, if I want to put the same pieces in. So that is why I completely like took those apart, and I didn't do a lot of like secure like wrapping and packing these things because they are going to our storage. We have a storage where I keep all of this stuff, so they're not going to be getting like banged around or moved around anywhere crazy. They're just going to go from our house straight to storage.
Nobody told me to settle down. Day nights and late nights don't get around. But there's something about you I like, about you I like. You're crazy for saying I should slow down, but maybe I'm escaping the love we found.
And now we are going to move into the boys' bathroom, and this is what it looks like after Jackson has gone to school and like I've gotten both boys ready for the day. Usually there's a lot more toothpaste in the sink after Jackson brushes his teeth, but I guess on this day it wasn't that messy. So I just want to go ahead and put everything away and do a quick tidy up in here. I like to wipe down the counters every day. It just helps it smell good in here all the time, and I don't have to worry about like any germs or anything lingering. It's just super easy for me to go in here once a day, like every morning. I usually like to try, but at this point in the day it was like in the afternoon, but I usually like to try and do this like first thing in the morning right after I drop the boys off. Lincoln did not go to daycare on this day. He stayed home with me because he wasn't feeling well. He was like okay, he wasn't really sick, but anytime like the boys seem like they aren't feeling well, especially Lincoln at this pre-K age, he's not even pre-K age, he's in daycare. At this age, if he doesn't feel well, especially with me being a stay-at-home mom, I definitely don't mind keeping them home. Jackson only stays home because he is in 2nd grade. He only stays home if he's really sick because it's really important for him to be at school. But for Lincoln, if he's ever like not having a good day or in a grumpy mood, I definitely don't mind keeping him home. He only goes part-time, so it does give me a few hours during the day when he's gone to get things done. But if he's not feeling good, I definitely like don't make him go, or if he's just not in a good mood, or if he didn't get a good night's sleep, I will definitely like let him stay home with me.
If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better, yeah. I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better.
And now that I'm finished tidying up in my bathroom, before I get started making dinner, I've said this before, I love to have my bed made up before I go to bed, and it just kind of got messed up from Lincoln playing in here throughout the day. So I just went back in to make up my bed. So that's like done. I just like the way my bed looks when it's all made up. I don't care what time of day it is. If I can go in and fix it up, I will. And now we are back in the kitchen and we are going to start making dinner. These are the seasonings that I'm going to be using to make my stuffed salmon, and these are the ingredients that I'm going to be using to make my stuffing. It's cream cheese, frozen spinach, and Parmesan cheese. Now I have left the cream cheese and the frozen spinach out on the counter so that they can be room temperature when it's time for me to mix up my stuffing. The spinach was still cold. It wasn't like completely room temperature, but it wasn't frozen. It was very easy to work with. And same with the cream cheese. It wasn't completely room temperature as I would like it, but it was definitely a lot easier to work with because they were still cold. I kind of mixed them all in smaller portions. I am going to use the whole stick of cream cheese, but instead of putting it all in at once, I kind of put it in pieces. This just made it easier for me to mix it up really well. Once I mixed those ingredients together, I did go in and I added some seasoning, and I used the Old Bay, the complete seasoning, and some lemon pepper seasoning. These are what I season the fish with, so I kind of want the taste of the stuffing to kind of match what I put on the fish, so that is why I use those. I don't have measurements of what I use for any of them because I kind of just make it as I like it. So if you like your stuffing and your stuffed salmon a little bit cheesier or creamier, you know, you would just add more cream cheese or more spinach, whichever you like. And the same applies with the seasoning. I kind of just eyeball it. And I also wanted to make some Parmesan red potatoes. So after washing those off, I just cut them up in quarters. And the reason I cut them up in quarters is because I want them to be able to cook pretty fast. So the smaller I cut them, the faster they cook. It's just easier for me to put everything in the oven at once and know that it's all done at the same time, because sometimes when I'm cooking certain meals where sides may cook longer than like the protein or something like that, if I get distracted, I may forget to put something in the oven or on the stove. So it's really easy for me to make meals where everything can kind of go in and get started at the same time and also finish up at the same time. So after I cut these up into quarters, I am going to put a little bit of olive oil on them, and I'm just going to do the same thing, put very similar seasonings and just toss those around in the olive oil and the seasonings to get them all really coated really well. And I'm wearing a glove, and I don't wear gloves when I'm cooking all the time. The reason I put it on is like sometimes when I'm using olive oil and seasonings, it just kind of sticks to my hands. I wash my hands a lot while I'm cooking, which is what I would prefer. But it just kind of sticks to my hands in a texture that I don't really like. So I will just wear a glove to kind of toss that around. But I don't mind using my hands when I'm cooking at home for my family. That's just me personally. I just prefer to wash my hands. I feel like sometimes wearing gloves while cooking can kind of give you a false sense of security, and you may touch something with your gloves that you may not be thinking about. But when I'm using my bare hands, usually when I'm touching anything, like meat or anything that can be contaminated, I do my best to just keep washing my hands. Just wash my hands throughout the entire meal process. So as I'm switching to different things, I am washing my hands. And you guys can see me butcher this piece of salmon. I am not great at cutting the salmon, but I don't mind that it doesn't look great because usually once it cooks, you can't really tell. So I've stuffed all 3 pieces of salmon, and I also put some of the stuffing on top of them. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in the oven, and I also went ahead and I put the potatoes in the oven as well. So while those are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and clean up the mess that I made in the kitchen while preparing the food. So the dishes that I put in the dishwasher earlier that day, those are all clean. So I'm going to take those out and refill it with the new ones that I've used from prepping the food.
Been too long. going back to all of those nights when I knew you were mine.
Alright, and the food is all done. I just steamed the green beans, kept that really simple, and I've tossed in a pizza in the oven for the boys. That needed to cook a little bit more, but everything turned out really good. I kept the potatoes in a little bit longer than I like, but they actually tasted really good, and you can see how the salmon looked. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this. I definitely enjoyed making it, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!